Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be ranking all the Mega Man ZX bosses from easiest to hardest. There are a couple rules I would like to put in place, so here are them now. So, I will be playing all the bosses as Model ZX in order to have the most fair comparison. So that way, things like weaknesses, double charge shots and all of that, those won't really matter in the ranking, so everything will be as balanced as possible. Obviously, for the bosses that don't use Model ZX, before you get Model ZX anyway, I will be using Model X, as it's the only one you really have. I'm not using human form, that would be actual hell. So, let's get into the ranking, and this is all my opinion, so if you have anything to say, let me know in the comments, and let's get on to it. Number 24, Rayfly. Rayfly's only attack is summoning a bounce cannon. There will be 3 layers. One will be red and completely hittable. The other 2 will be blue and they cannot be hit at all. If there's a blue layer that is not on the bottom layer, it will shoot out gems that bounce. These are really easy to dodge. Just stay to the side or jump over them. If it's on the bottom layer, just jump over it in a pattern, and it's pretty easy to do since once you get used to it, it's really easy to repeat. This boss is super easy because of once you hit the red layer and Rayfly gets hit, Rayfly takes a lot of damage, being about a fourth of its HP, so it dies in 4 hits. This is the main reason why it's so easy, because it dies really fast. Overall, Rayfly is just stupidly easy, not even close. Number 23, Giga Aspis. Giga Aspis will use his tail attack. He will retreat back and then slam the tail. All you really have to do is just dodge the tail by moving to the left side or the right side depending on where he is, and jump over the rocks. This is very easy to do with enough practice. And after this, you get a big opportunity to do a bunch of damage. Giga Aspis will sliver under, and there's a little opening where you can dash under. Both this and the rock attack give very good opportunities to deal a bunch of damage, as you see here, as I just took out a bunch of his health. Giga Aspis will shoot some poison bubbles, which are telegraphed by the little dots on his body becoming red. Dodge this by staying near Giga Aspis or jumping over the bubbles. It is very easy to dodge otherwise. Overall, Giga Aspis is super easy and shouldn't be a challenge after your first win. Number 22, Soul Titanion. Soul Titanion's main attack is using these red fans. Jump over the first one, then jump over the second one when it gets near the player. These are very easy to dodge and can even be broken with a buster shot or a slash, when it's charged of course. This attack is very easy to dodge and is very easy to interrupt. The other fan attack is green. For the first one, all you have to do is stay in a corner. It won't even hit you when you're on the bottom left or bottom right. And for the other one, all you have to do is jump over it on the left side and completely ignore it on the right side. So on the right side, you're totally invincible from this attack. And it can be broken too. Soul Titanion will use a flamethrower from her tongue. To dodge this, as the flamethrower goes up and down, dodge it when the flamethrower goes up. If done right, you should dodge this and you should be able to counterattack after, since you have a lot of opportunities to. Titanion will go from one side of the stage to the other, placing mines around the way. This is very easy to dodge on its own, and the mines are very easy to break, only really taking a charged saber slash and then a regular one to end it off. Very easy to dodge, you could get damage on Soul Titanion very easily as well. So it's not a bad attack to dodge. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it is very, very easy once you get it. Soul Titanion will just throw a giant meteor at the player, and 6 projectiles will follow. These are very easy to dodge. All you have to do is bait the meteor and then jump over the projectiles. And the projectiles can be destroyed if I remember correctly, so it's very, very easy to do anything against this attack. Overall, Soul Titanion is super easy to beat and shouldn't take too much practice. Number 21, Giro. Giro will simply jump over you. Dodge this by moving under him or dashing under him. It should be pretty easy regardless. Giro will use the Ground Crusher, summoning 3 beams of light on each side. They are all a set distance from each other, so it's very easy to dodge, and you have a lot of opportunities to just shoot him and deal a bunch of damage. Gyro's eyes will glow, and then he'll do the jump slash. Dodge this by staying away or dashing under him when he jumps. It should be easy, but it can take some time due to the range. Giro will slash the ground from the center, or the center from what I know at least, and debris will kick up. Make sure to dodge the debris by jumping, and the slash is super easy to dodge as well. Just jump over the debris and you'll be fine. Giro will do the Z slash. The Z slash obviously goes in a pattern of a Z, and it's very easy to dodge. All you really have to do is just stay in the middle and then jump over when he does the final slash. So no matter which corner he starts in, you'll always have a good time dodging it, and you'll do it pretty easily. Giro isn't the easiest boss in the world, but all the other bosses are just way more difficult, even if they're in the same tier. So Giro isn't the easiest boss in the world, but he's nowhere near the hardest. Number 20, Flammole. Flammole will shoot 4 fireballs at 4 different angles. Jump over the last one and stay away from the wall because it does have some radius to it. If you do this, it should be really easy to dodge, and it doesn't take too much practice to get down. Flammole will shoot a fire wave that will climb the floor and walls. Make sure to dodge this when the fire wave starts getting to the wall, but not exactly, so that way you still have some leeway to dodge. It should be pretty easy to get down and master the dodging though. Flammole will constantly bury through the ground and the ceilings. Rocks will follow soon after. Dodge the rocks by moving away, and try to get some hits on Flammole by shooting him as he's going up or going down. This should be a gold mine to get damage, and it's really easy to dodge once you get it down. When Flammole's at half health, he will punch the ground and emit fire players at the player's position 3 times. During the 3rd time, 2 fire pillars will spawn at both sides of the player. When the fire pillars spawn, the arena will shake, and you'll be forced off a wall if you are on a wall. Dodge this by jumping off the wall before the fire pillars spawn. If done right, you should dodge all of them. This can be a little tricky, but after a bit you should get it down perfectly fine. Flammole is very easy once you get the pattern down, and unlike all the others, you shouldn't comfortably beat him on your first try, but it really depends. Overall, dodge Flammole's attacks and you'll be perfectly fine, maybe even having no hit. Number 19, Devilbat Schilt. When Devilbat's on the ground, he'll summon 4 electric orbs. They can either go on the floor, which you can easily jump over, go in the middle, which you can dash under, or go in the top, which you can either ignore or just stick to the wall. All of these can be dodged by just clinging to the wall until the attack ends, and they will bounce back as well. This can be a bit difficult without using the wall, but it shouldn't be too bad. Devilbat will hang on the ceiling, and 2 clones will follow. He can be in one of these 3 spots at random. He'll shoot electric beams from his ears, and they will hang on the floor and walls. Make sure to dodge these by constantly moving out of the way, like how I do here, and it should be pretty easy to dodge once you get it down. Devilbat will use Bat Swarm and summon a billion bats on one side of the arena. These can either be killed, or you can dodge the attack by going to the other side that Devilbat isn't using the bats on. He's essentially vulnerable to anything you use here, so use this to your advantage. Devilbat will fire sound waves all across the arena. These are easy enough to dodge, but they do bounce off the walls. I recommend being around the middle of the screen, or near the corner if you can. Either of these positions should work fine. The reason why he's so low is because the rolling slash, which is performed by pressing up and attack in the air, or mashing attack in the air, murders him. It's because he stays in a spot for all of his attacks, or most of them, making him super vulnerable to this attack. He's only here because of the exploit, and if it wasn't, he would be an entire tier higher. So the exploit just makes him this low. Number 18, Leganchor. If you take contact damage with Leganchor, you will be frozen. This can ruin an attempt if you get hit, and it's also really annoying because then he can combo you with whatever other attacks he's going to use. Leganchor will try to spot the player with a light. If he succeeds, he'll shoot out his anchors at the player's position. Dodge this by constantly moving, or like how I do it here. Wall jumping is insanely recommended, but it really depends if the walls are frozen or not. Leganchor will stab his anchors into the corners and the center. This will freeze the floor and walls, preventing you from wall jumping and avoiding most of his attacks unless you use model LX or get insanely lucky with your wall jumps. It's very, very annoying. Leganchor's skull will open its maw and will release 2 homing ice dragons. They are hard to dodge, but very easy to destroy with a fully charged buster or slash. Leganchor's propulsors will create whirlpools, dragging the player towards them. If you get caught, escape by mashing. This can be hard or easy depending on how fast you can mash, but it should be pretty easy regardless. If you are near the surface of the water, Leganchor will summon 2 jellyfish robots. They launch pink orbs of energy 2 times each. These are easy enough to dodge if you know what you're doing, but they can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know where they're going. If you're above the surface of the water for too long, Leganchor will go up and drop down, creating large waves. Dodge these by jumping off the wall at the right time like how I do here, or using Model HX to stall. I'd recommend using Model HX, but if you know what you're doing, you can jump off the wall at the right time and get the dodge that way. If you know to cheese by staying above the surface, combined with his weakness being his head, he becomes very easy. If you don't expect to have any fun whatsoever. Number 17, Noble Mandrago. Mandrago will plant seeds that will deal damage at a base throw. These will either hit the ground or ceiling depending on where they go. On the ground, they'll just stay there, and if you touch them, they'll do damage to you and you have to mash out. If they're on the walls or ceilings, the flowers will occasionally shoot a series of bullets at you. These are easy enough to dodge. Both of these can be broken with the charge shot or saber, so they're really easy to get rid of. Mandrago will drill through the floor. She will either appear on the floor or ceiling. She'll shoot 3 blobs of goo. If you get hit by any of the blobs of goo, you cannot wall jump until they disappear, and she'll spawn bees to attack you. The bees are easy to kill, and they should be easy to dodge, so are the blobs of goo, but it can be very tricky if you don't know what you're doing. Mandrago will heal every now and then. You can easily damage her to reset the healing, or make her even go back lower to when she was before she healed. But it takes a long time for this, and it makes the fight last even longer. And the thing is, Mandrago can spam this, which makes it even more annoying. Mandrago will spin like a top. Dodge this by staying to the walls, and you should be perfectly fine. Mandrago will go to the ceiling, seeking out the player. After Mandrago finds the player, she'll try to land on the player, creating shockwaves on the way. Dodge the shockwaves by moving away from Mandrago, then staying on a wall, and then dodging the shockwaves when they hit the wall. Jump off the wall as well. This can be tricky, but it's not that bad once you get used to it. It just takes a lot of reaction time. Mandrago can be tricky to beat, but she's not difficult at all. Number 16, Purprill. Purprill will often hit on cables to perform his attacks. Make sure you're always on the move so you can be ready for this, but it really depends on how you do the fight. When Purprill dashes, get away from him. They shouldn't be too hard to dodge, so it should take a bit of practice. Purprill will throw 3 small bombs. They will explode when they hit the ground, so dodge them by staying to a wall opposite to the side that Purprill's on. So, for example, he's on the right, go to the left. He's on the left, go to the right. Purprill will throw 3 bombs at you that explode after a few seconds. Dodge them by staying to a wall, but if he's too close while throwing them, you're gonna have to move to the other wall in the arena. No other way around it. It can be hard to dodge, but if you manage to find the right position, it should be easy enough, or you can completely ignore it. Purprill will throw sand up in the air. It has a really small range, so move away or stick to the top of a wall. It should be easy to dodge, but it can be really unexpected. He'll turn into a giant shuriken and bounce around the arena until he stops at a wall. Rubble will fly out. To dodge this, go to the side opposite of the wall Purprill's at. So he's on the right, I'm going to the left like how you see here. Purprill will turn into a shuriken and bounce around the arena. I dodge it by staying to a side and moving out of the way when it gets over to where I'm at, but there's probably more ways to dodge it. Purprill is very tricky. It can take a while if you let your guard down. Number 15, Childre Inarabitta. Childre will fire 4 missiles. These will target the player. You can dodge them by jumping out of the way or going behind Childre. They can also be destroyed with the Buster or Saber. Childre will run on the wall, and he has an option of doing 2 attacks. Childre will track your position and try to stab you with icicles. When the icicles hit the ground, they will spread out. Dodge this by moving away and break the icicles in response. Childre will commit war crimes on the surface of the water by exploding mines. The mines will send shards to the floor. They are hard to avoid, so generally stay away from them as best as you can. They can also be destroyed as well. Childre will launch a giant blade using his ears. It is quick, but it's very easy to dodge. Just jump over it. Initially, he's pretty difficult, but if you know how to beat the boss, he's not bad at all. Number 14, Pandora. Pandora will summon a projectile that will have the top part bounce up 6 times. Every bounce, it will go up to catch a bad jump. If it hits the wall, you will be forced off the wall. To dodge this, stay to a wall and jump off before it hits the wall, or do it like how I did here, where I went between the top and the bottom. Pandora will fire 4 bolts that will home towards the player. They will only change direction once depending on where the player is. Dodge it by baiting their movement, having slow jumps between the bolts, or dodge it like how I do in the clip. I don't have an amazing way of saying this, so I hope this way of saying it is good enough. Pandora will create a ceiling of thunder that will go from the top to the bottom if not interrupted, and it will hit the floor too. So if you don't interrupt it, you're gonna get hit no matter what. To interrupt it, attack the parts of her helmets on the sides. If done right, you won't get hit. Pandora will use 2 parts of her helmet that will explode into shards of ice before moving somewhere else. One will summon shards in the 4 cardinal directions, and the other will summon shards in the in-between parts, like northeast for example. Dodge them by constantly moving, or attack the helmet parts to make the attack go away faster. The shards can also be destroyed as well. Pandora will fly around the arena. She'll go from left to right while rising. Dodge this by going below Pandora when she's about to hit you. So just be below her. You can get a free hit in if you find the right spot, so use this to your advantage. Pandora is a very crafty boss, but you'll take her out with enough practice. Number 13, Blazin Flizard. Flizard will use a flamethrower that will go up and down. Dodge this by staying away from it. Depending on your position, you may have to switch sides. Flizard will jump to the center and shoot many fireballs. Find a gap between the fireballs and dodge through there. The pattern will change up as well, so try to find another gap like how I did here. This is pretty hard to dodge if you don't know where to go, but once you find that spot and you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. Flizard will throw his frill in a boomerang pattern, so he'll throw it and it'll go back to him. Dodge it by staying to the ground. Flizard will shoot 3 spears that light up when they touch the ground. Dodge them by staying near the corner of a wall, and go between the spears when absolutely necessary. Even though he isn't simple, Flizard shouldn't be too bad. Number 12, Deathtanz Mantisk. Mantis will send a scythe at the player, which he will send back to himself. After some time, dodge it by staying on the wall, and after enough practice, you should get it down. You can also dodge it by dashing under the scythe and then jumping over it, but since there's a wall here, just stay on the wall. When Mantis gets on a wall, he can strike from above and then do it on the opposite side like this. Dodge this by staying on the side he's on or going to. So how it looks is that you stay on the left, then we goes on the other side, go to the right. I don't have the best way of saying this, so I hope this is good enough, but generally this is what you want to do. If Mantis gets up a wall, he can send a scythe towards the player, which goes back to him like a boomerang. Dodge this by jumping over the scythe. If Mantis gets on the ground, he can send a scythe towards the player, which goes back to him like a boomerang. Dodge it by dashing under the scythe. He'll do this twice, so you'll have to know when his attack comes. If you're too close to Mantis, he'll do a quick stab. Make sure to run away. Mantis will shoot the ceiling, causing a rock to fall. He'll then slash it, so dodge it by staying to a wall, then jumping off when the final one's sent. The rock can also be broken, preventing him from attacking, or at least using the rock to attack, so you can get some free hits after that. Mantis shouldn't be too bad, but he could be super unpredictable. Number 11, Hurricaune. Hurricaune will jump in the air, slowly falling down. She'll try to fall on the player. Dodge this by moving, or do it like how I do, where I say a word when I think she's about to get ready. After she falls, she'll produce sparks. So you want to stay on the wall while dodging those, so that way the sparks don't hit you, because they'll travel around the floor. You can dodge them by jumping, but it's really annoying this way. Hurricaune spins her neck, creating a crescent wave that goes up and down the wall once it hits it. Dodge this by going to the wall initially, and then when the wave hits the wall, jump off of it like you see me doing here. Hurricaune will throw 2 tornadoes. I dodge this by jumping to the wall to change the path of the tornadoes by baiting them, then jumping off the wall to dodge them once she releases them. This can take some time, but after a lot of practice, you should get it down. After she's at half health or lower, Hurricaune will create a tornado that draws the player in, unleashing crescent waves that go up and down. Dodge this by jumping over the crescent that spawns on the bottom. It takes practice though, so expect to get hit if you're newer, but at the end of the day, this isn't bad to dodge. Hurricaune can be very tough to beat, but once you learn, it's nowhere near as bad as it looks. Number 10, Pegasolta Eclair. The arena is super unique, being the only one to have bottomless pits, which you can die to if you fall through them. Pegasolta will dash in a zigzag pattern, trying to hit the player as he goes. This attack is tricky to dodge, so try to find an opening you can jump over or dash under. Pegasolta will launch 2 electric spears at the player. If they both land on the ground, a bolt of lightning will appear between them. Either stay away, jump away, or dash away depending on your position and the spear's position. Pegasolta will swoop down and try to push the player into the pits. Dodge this by moving out of the way, as it doesn't have that much range. Pegasolta will charge up and emit 2 lines of lightning, one going directly horizontal and the other going diagonally down. He'll then descend, making the lightning lines descend as well. Dodge this by going to a lower platform and dash under when they are about to hit you. From what I know, they get faster as Pegasolta loses HP. When Pegasolta is at half health, he'll charge up and will dash towards the player at full speed and then ascend. Dodge this by going to the opposite side Pegasolta is at and hope that you don't get hit. Pegasolta isn't that hard, especially compared to the top bosses of this list, but he's extremely unpredictable. Number 9, Fistleo. When Fistleo does a standard jump, dash away from him. Fistleo will always charge up before performing an attack. He heals 8 HP while doing this, so hit him with a charge shot or slash. He will perform 4 attacks after a charge, and 5 once he gets to half health. Fistleo will leap across the field, smashing rocks on his way. Go to the side opposite of Fistleo, stay to the wall, and counterattack when he breaks them. So something like this. Fistleo will dash across the arena, leaving a trail of fire and making a shockwave close to the wall he hits. Dodge it by jumping over Fistleo once the fire starts to disappear, and stay on a wall before doing so. If you get grabbed by him, you better be at high HP or you're going to die. Fistleo thrusts his fists, creating 3 sparks at your position. They appear one at a time, so be on the move during this attack. At half health, Fistleo will gain a new charge attack and animation. He'll jump with his fists out and go to the other side. 4 fireballs will follow. Jump over these with a jump dash. At half health, Fistleo will charge up. If you attack him with a slash or with the buster close enough, he'll counterattack. You are dead if you're below half HP when he attacks you. This boss has damage output going for it, easily killing you in about 2 to 4 hits. Combined with the heals and ways forcing you to move, this boss can be tricky to deal with. Number 8, Protectos. Every now and then when Protectos moves, 4 missiles will spawn. Dodge them by being on the bottom platform. Protectos will spawn 3 bombs on each row. They can be pink, which explodes vertically, blue, which explodes horizontally, or green that explodes either after you touch it or after a few seconds. Protectos will fire homing missiles out of his arms, 4 for each one. Destroy them with the buster or charge shot, and make sure all of them are in one place to do this effectively. Protectos will create a shield that makes him invincible to everything. It will have to be hit several times before it's destroyed. When Protectos is at half health, he will spawn a rocket, turn gray, and brace for impact. Dodge this by going to his backside, and if you need to, drop platforms by pressing down and jump. If you don't, the rocket and its blast will deal about half health if you stay in it. Protectos can be challenging, but once you learn it, he's not terribly difficult. Number 7, Lurerre. Lurerre's main attack is going up and down while firing 3 ice arrows 7 times. Dodge the first 4, dash under the 5th one, and stay close to Lurerre for the rest of them. But if you find a consistent pattern, do that, because I don't have an amazing way of saying this. When Lurerre uses marine snow, an ice spike will spawn, summoning tinier ice spikes. Hit it with a full charge shot as soon as it spawns. Other than that, it shouldn't be too bad to dodge. You can break the spike, the tiny spikes, and the spikes once they hit the ground. Lurerre will use Whirlpool Attraction to try to suck you in, and the fish body will soon follow, biting you before using Hyper Bite or the attack I'm talking about. The Lurerre will fire ice arrows in 3 waves 3 times, and the fish body will shoot a missile. Jump over the ice arrows while staying to the right side. If this is done right, you should dodge the first one, then the second while dodging the missile, and then finally dodging the third wave of arrows. For the fish body to use Hyper Bite, you either have to be too close to the right side of the screen, or you have to break Lurerre's lure. If you break the lure and you're in freezing distance, you will be frozen, which results in you being hit by Hyper Bite, which will usually result in you dying. When Lurerre uses her ice wall, it will approach you. Don't try jumping over it, it won't work. Spam your uncharged buster and pray for the best. If done right, you shouldn't get hit. While Lurerre in the grand scheme of this ranking isn't bad at all, she isn't easy and very annoying. Number 6, Prometheus. Prometheus will dash towards you by teleporting first and going to one of the sides. He'll fire off a wave and then jump off. Hit him when he dashes so you have enough time to dodge, and you can jump over as well. This can take some practice, so be on the ready for this move. At the moment it's not that bad, but when we cover the duo fight, it's gonna get way worse, so knowing this will be very important. Prometheus will summon 4 skulls. Each skull goes in the corner of the room and emit fireballs. This is extremely hard to dodge with the 4 skulls, requiring great precision and timing. And I know I'm not doing it justice. You can hit the skulls though, so make sure to destroy one. If you do, this makes the attack way easier to dodge and allows you to safely get more hits in. An attack exclusive to this encounter of Prometheus is him stabbing his hair to the ground, creating swords that go around the arena including the walls and floor. The attack will start on either of the walls, so stay on the ground and move to the wall that doesn't have the swords on it. If you do this right, you should dodge it. If you moved Prometheus a couple spots down, I can totally see that, but there's just something that's very hard about this boss to me. And that will be covered later on during the duel fight between Pandora and Prometheus. Number 5, Fenri Lunaedge. If the player is too close to Fenri, Fenri will try to stab the player. Dodge this by staying far away and always be ready for this move if you're close. Fenri will become a wheel and jump around, even being able to jump off walls. Dodge this by going over Fenri when he jumps in his wheel state, kinda like this, but make sure you jump off a wall. I don't have an amazing way of saying this, so I hope this is good enough for you guys. Just make sure to be super careful while dodging it. Fenri will jump onto walls 3 times while firing ice waves from his arms. This move is very tricky to dodge. Dodge it exactly like this or you're going to get hit. No questions asked. Fenri will summon 2 clones and then attack. The clones will follow shortly after. Dodge this by staying to a wall and then jumping off once the final clone jumps off. When Fenri is at half HP, Fenri will go to one side of the arena, jump, and then fire 2 ice waves. Dodge this by going between the waves, jumping off the wall, and then going down. This can take some time, so don't worry if you mess up. Just dodge it like how I do here. Overall, until you master this boss, it will give you a run for your money. Number 4, Hivolt. Hivolt will start by firing electric beams. The 2 variations are ones you can jump between and ones you have to dash under. The pattern will go jump between, dash under, jump between. After this, Hivolt will go towards your direction. Dash under him when one of his legs is about to hit you, and the other one is high enough for you to dash under. Shouldn't be the hardest thing to dodge in the world, but it's going to take a lot of practice to get down consistently. Hivolt will place his legs down. One of them will be in a corner, and another one will be in a different corner. They will be opposite to each other, whether it's by the left or right side, or their placements vertically. Both legs will fire electric beams 5 times, and they will shift direction every time, but they will generally target you. They should still be easy to dodge even on hard mode, but make sure to watch where you're going, or you're gonna get hit. Hivolt will land on the ground and do a triple slash. They all have sonic booms, so stay back, avoid the first 2, dash under the third one, and dash under Hivolt when he's about to jump, so you don't get hit on the way. Shouldn't be too bad, but the speed of this can really mess you up, because this attack is super fast. Hivolt will land on the ground and dash towards you. This should be easy to dodge. All you have to do is jump over him. When Hivolt gets to half health, he will go up in the air and fire lasers. Where the lasers go depends on your position, but what I do is stay in the middle and dash away. When he's about to fire another laser, dash back. Continue this pattern until he stops firing lasers. It's nowhere near easy to dodge. You have to know the timing, positioning, and the speed in order to dodge this insane attack, which will easily deal over half of your health bar. While Hivolt seems very difficult, he is, but he's not unfair and can be beaten if you really put in the time to practice. Number 3, Pandora and Prometheus. If you skip to this part of the video, or you don't remember these guys' attacks, I'll catch you up to speed. Pandora fires 4 bolts that will home towards the player. Dodge it with careful and slow jumps, or do it like how I do here. Pandora will summon a projectile that bounces 6 times. Every other bounce, it goes higher up to catch bad jumps. This shouldn't be too bad to dodge, but it can ruin your momentum if you mess up. Prometheus will dash to one of the sides, he'll fire off a wave, and then jump off. Hit him when he dashes, so that way he stalls, and you can jump over him. This will take a lot of practice, and because you have no walls, you have no get out of jail free card. You have to listen to this attack and shoot him. Prometheus will summon 4 skulls in each corner of the room, which will emit fireballs. Make sure to destroy one before you do anything, as you have no get out of jail free card with the wall, and dodging 4 is practically impossible. When they are at half health, which is about 1.5 bars of HP, Pandora will remove parts of her helmet, summoning electric bolts that go on the left side to the right, and ice shards that go to the right to the left. Stay on the left side and break the shards. After this, Prometheus will strike the ground, leaving 4 flames behind. After he strikes and the flames fly, go to where Prometheus is. This will take a lot of practice to get down, so I'm not gonna blame you if you die here. The fact that their attacks are faster and you have no wall makes this fight 10 times harder, at least to me. Number 2, Serpent. Serpent will shoot 5 shots in a V shape. On the ground, stay close. In the air, unless he's near you, stay away. Serpent will dash kick the ground. Jump over or dash away from Serpent. Serpent will kick in the air, so don't be directly close to him when he does this. He can also combo this with an air shot, so stay away after. Serpent will shoot a giant ball of energy. Move it away from you with a charge shot or slash. With enough hits, the ball will go towards Serpent. If the ball hits Serpent, Serpent takes 2 damage. If done right, Serpent can take a lot of damage from this. At half health, which is about 1.5 bars, he goes into overdrive mode. His attacks are faster and do more damage, easily being able to kill you in 2 hits. At 1 bar of health, Serpent may dodge one of your attacks and counterattack from above. He'll slam the ground, causing 4 crystals to appear. Move away from him and try to find an opening. The first phase isn't bad, but it's very annoying and you have to guess. In the second phase, Serpent will shoot a green orb. If it hits the ground, it splits into 2 shards. If it's hit, it splits into 4. The splits in the orb itself are really easy to dodge. Serpent will summon meteors. Dodge this by going to the blue spots on the floor away from the center and corners. Rolling slash the fire that follows. Serpent will summon 2 crystals on both sides. He'll pick one to smash first, so dash under the one that gets smashed first, then avoid the other by staying to the corner and jumping over the shards. When Serpent gets down to 2 bars of health, he'll gain new attacks. Serpent will use Dark Void, and he'll try to suck you in, so dash away. Purple bolos will follow then. Dodge them by moving away or staying near a corner. If you get hit, they slow you down, which is super bad for the next attack. Serpent will target you with some trackers. If they catch you, Serpent regains HP, and you have to mash out, which makes the fight last even longer than it already does. After 1 bar, Serpent gets new attacks, and hands will spawn on the side. Dodge them when it gets to 1 bar of health or lower, as they can do a lot, and I mean a lot of damage, as you see here. Serpent will spawn green orbs from his hands and head. One will always be in the middle. Find an open spot and dodge, but this attack can be super annoying. Trust me, I would know. Serpent will make a crystal in the middle of the arena, in the air. Then the hands will crush the crystal, leaving shards. After some time, it will go back. Dodge this by going to the corner when the hands crush the crystal, jump over the shards, then dash under the hands when they go back. Trust me, the amount of time getting footage was over 5 hours. I felt like I was in actual hell. But after I learned it, it wasn't too bad. Just not easy at all. Every boss in this game is difficult in their own rights, even the ones I put in easy tier, but they're nothing compared to Omega. Why? Well, he's him. Omega will do a free hit combo. It has short range, but the final slash catches jumps, and if you get hit by the full combo, you'll be left at 1 HP, which is practically dead. Omega will charge up the saber, causing free rocks to fall. This isn't hard to dodge by itself, but it limits your space and allows Omega to advance and have a chance to hit you, which is going to suck. Omega will do the double charge wave, a charge buster shot into another charge buster shot into a slash. Dodge this by dash jumping over the shots, then jumping over the slash, like how I do here. Omega's Arc Blade will start with him double jumping, then firing crescent waves in 7 directions. It isn't hard to dodge, but it's deadly if you're in the corner or stuck between an attack. Omega will use Ryujin and do a rising slash. The range is short, but Omega can combo this with his crazy dash, doing more than half of your health bar. Omega will use the Masenko, pounding the ground, unleashing projectiles in 5 directions. It's easy to dodge, but Omega can combo this with his other moves or another Masenko, which will limit your movement, which Omega can use to do something absolutely insane. Omega will use the Rokokha, creating a vertical line of damage that is invincible. Omega will heal 8 units of health with this. This can be insane because of the healing if he reuses it. You can make up the healing back with the buster shot into slash, but Omega will usually heal the damage back up, making the fight last even longer. Omega will use Ranbu. I'm getting this out of the way, it's an insta-kill. It kills before the move even finishes. This is dangerous because you'll be close to Omega a couple times throughout the fight, and combined with his dash, it can come out of nowhere and ruin your attempt. Omega is insane because he'll limit your movement. With the Charge Slash, Masenko, Arc Blade, and Rakoka, you're forced to play by his rules, and he'll even punish you for doing so. Is Omega beatable? Yes. But will he take tons and tons of effort to beat consistently? Yes. He's harder than Chaos Evolus, harder than Ravenbeak, harder than Arceus, harder than the ended Sonic Frontiers. He's the hardest boss I've faced to date. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm making this video on a new device, so I hope you guys can tell me if the video quality is better or not, as I want to make sure it's as top notch as possible. I will do Mega Man ZX Advent in the future, but not now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm more than happy to discuss these bosses and any future boss rankings, and where they should belong in the future, considering if I change the list in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.